energy. YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Koozie, and welcome to episode 2 of the EFT For Noobs series. Now, today's video is jumping straight into the action. I've got the brand new account ready to go. I'm going to show you what it looks like whenever Tarkov first fires up, as well as your player customization, blah, blah, blah. Also, the key aspect of the week. Now, this week, we're going to be touching on heals and the different types of injuries you may experience whenever you're first starting out. And then we'll get into some raids. And yeah, so do me a favor, if you do like the video today, make sure to drop a like. If you want to come back for this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on, and leave a comment down below to let me know if you learned something new, or if you didn't, or if you have any kind of feedback. I would greatly appreciate it. So also, all of my links are down below. I do stream on Twitch Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Monday through Thursday, I'm 100% streaming Escape From Tarkov. Fridays are kind of variety days, but if you want to come check me out, the link is in the description below. So enough pitter patter, chitter chatter. Let's get into the video. Okie dokie, so whenever you first fire up the game, this is what you're met with. This is a welcome screen, and where you choose your language. I could read all this, but for the sake of time, we're just going to jump straight into it. Feel free to pause the video and read this if you really want to, but we're going to go with English. Click accept. Whenever you click accept, you are then taken to a screen where you choose your name. I'm trying to think of a meme name or something like that. I'm just gonna go with "You're not that guy." You're not that guy, pal. Nickname is already in use. Okay, so what if we change it up here? Okay, fine. We'll go with Papega Clap. There we go. Fuck. Fine, man. Koozie's cooler is what we'll go with. It's what we had, and I guess it works. So here we are. In the previous video, we touched on the two factions. Again, just as a recap, Bear is Russian speaking. USEC is English speaking. USEC has American style weapons, whereas USEC has Russian style weapons. Because I am a USEC on my main account, I'm going to be playing as a Bear on this series. So we're going to go ahead and select that. Then whenever you select your faction, you're able to choose your appearance and your voice line. This is permanent, okay? So once you choose this, you cannot change it later on unless you reset your account, which I would highly advise against. So let's see. That guy looks funny. I kind of like that guy. What's his name? Vault? No. Well, beady eyes. That guy. We'll go with him. It's so quiet. I can't hear it. We're gonna go with him. Okay. So after that is all said and done, you're brought to the main menu. Let's talk about the stash. This is all the stuff you're starting out with your PMC. You get 2 rifles, 2 SMGs, 3 armor vests, 3 rigs, 2 backpacks, and a couple other stuff. I'm going to organize this here in a minute, but that's your stash. And as you can see, compared to the first episode where I was on my main account, you're starting out with an alpha container on a standard account, and your stash space is significantly smaller. So that's kind of the gist of the very beginning. All right, so that was your stash. That's your PMC. And before I get into the key aspects of things, what I want to do now is go into all your traders, and we have 7 of them unlocked. We have to do a quest for mechanic to get Jaeger unlocked. But what I want to do is I want to time lapse this, but what you're going to want to do is go into all of your traders and examine all of the items here. Fence, I'm going to time lapse this real quick. Go ahead and examine it all. All right, so real quick before I get into the key aspect, just to give you a little tutorial. If you want to quickly examine things like I just did, instead of having to right click and then click examine, just click your middle mouse button. That's simple. Okay, so let's talk about basic healing items and basic injuries that you will experience. First and foremost is pain, okay? And the way that you treat that is with these painkillers. Now, the trick is painkillers, they're all different. They all bring different benefits and negatives. For instance, your starter anal gen painkillers are good. They remove pain, but they also take away from your hydration, which is something that you'll need to pay attention to in a raid. You can also barter for painkillers as well, with one set of matches. But honestly, I wouldn't waste your time with that, just because it's better to just spend the rubles rather than having to fill up your stash with a bunch of stuff. Now, as far as the Aseptic Bandage goes, use that to treat light bleeds. And if you ever want to know what a specific healing item does, you can just double click it and it'll tell you what it does here. So you use Aseptic Bandages to stop light bleeds. This is a one spot item, and this is only used to stop light bleeds. There's no HP restoration that goes into it. We'll get to that here in a moment. Same with the S-March Tourniquet, or Tourniquet, however you want to say it, Tourniquet. You use it to stop heavy bleeds, which is a different ailment. And this does not restore HP, it just stops the bleed. As well as this hemostat too. This is actually really valuable, because whereas the tourniquet is a single-use item, this is a 3-use item for 1 slot, so it's actually a lot more valuable. The splint is used to alleviate fractures. That is whenever you're like me and you're stupid and you jump off of something that's a little bit too high and you break your leg. Also, if your arm gets injured in a specific way, it can be broken. So there's that. Now, the Salewa is a med kit, and what med kits are for restoring HP. Now, the Salewa and the car, which we'll talk about here in a moment, both aren't just for restoring HP. They also stop light bleeds and heavy bleeds. Well, the Salewa stops light bleeds and heavy bleeds. However, there's a cost. Your starting HP, or your starting usage points for the Salewa are 400. And if you want to stop a light bleed, it's going to cost 45 of those usage points. And if you want to stop a heavy bleed, it costs 175 usage points. Now, the car is similar. The only difference is it has less starting points and it only stops light bleeds. So honestly, the Salewa is good to bring in with you, but you can't get it on therapist level 1 just yet. You have to barter for it, but again, barters aren't really worth it to an extent, unless you're in a really tight squeeze. Now, what you do want to use to restore HP right now is the AI2 med kit. This doesn't stop any kind of bleeding. It doesn't do anything except for restore HP, and it only has 100 usage points. So I would bring a couple of these in if you're going into a raid to like go into PvP. That's your key aspect. That's therapist, a little bit in depth about what she offers, but more importantly, these are the basic heals to treat the most common and basic injuries that you'll be going through starting out. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to kind of just consolidate some stuff, because like I said, with this being a standard account, space is going to be an issue for us. So I want to consolidate some stuff. I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to like make your guns take up less space and go from there. So actually, let's start with that. So you see how this AK takes up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 slots? Okay, what if I told you we can make it a 4-slot item? Pause champ. Okay, so how we do that is we first off start by removing the magazine, which isn't really going to do much. But if we take off this pistol grip here, if we take that off, it brings it from a 4-slot item, or an 8-slot item, to a 5-slot item. Now, here's the kicker. What we do is we hover over our gun here and we press the middle mouse button, and bada bing, a bada boom, we got a 4-slot item. Man, that's huge. Okay, so that's how you do that, and we do that for all of our weapons here. The other thing too for consolidation goes is what you can do is you can take your backpack and either open it and then drag it over, or you can just stack it inside of there and it'll automatically put it in there, and voila, here we are. Okay, you can also use your rigs to store things, like literally anything. So I'm just gonna move these mags over here, and whenever it's full, it's going to show up red. Now with ammo, what you can do, and money as well, pretty much anything that's stackable, you can go to a stack of ammo that isn't complete. Typically, your stacks, your max stacks are ranging between 40 and 60. For PSTGZH, it's going to be 50. And instead of having to drag and drop, that's one way that you can do it. But the other way is you can take your stack here, you can right click it, it'll bring up the sub menu and click top up, and then boom, it just drags whatever's available to that specific stack. Same with your rubles. If you do top up, you'll consolidate it there as well. You can have up to 500,000 rubles per stack. I'm not sure how much it is for the other two currencies, but that's that. So I just want to kind of organize this a little bit, clean it up a little bit. I don't know how to make this look like any more visually pleasing, so we're just going to do that. Now the fabric and stuff, we're going to actually end up selling to try and just clean up our stash a little bit, as well as I don't think you need this, but don't quote me on that. Okay. I'm not going to spend a ton of time. These headphones I despise with a passion. I'm going to move our nades down here for now. I'm going to rearrange this, obviously, but for now, this is what we're dealing with. We'll keep the pistols out because we'll be going just full pistol run off road. These we can sell because they're just useless. Now, is there anything else we can kind of fit in here? All right. So the other thing too is if you want to put like this rig in a backpack that's empty and it's stacked inside of another backpack, you just have to double click to open it. What else? We'll move the fuel here. We do need the fuel for the hideout, so that's why I'm not like, that's why I'm kind of putting it out of sight, out of mind. That way it's there if we need it. Okay. Tetris. Hello. Skills. Okay. So we're good there. Sell that. The vodka, don't even worry about it. That's just a 13K. We're gonna move this rig down here. It's still got some stuff in it, so I may just end up moving this. Another quick tip is if you want to quick equip something, you would do hold Alt, left Alt, and click. If you want to unequip it, hold left Alt and don't do that. If you want to unequip something or move it to your stash, you just hold left Control and click. We'll keep these pistols up here because, like I said, we're gonna use them. For this first raid, I'm not going in kitted up. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna take out these two PP19 mags, put them in here. Actually, I'll probably do that, and that way, whenever we do go into our first like raid where we're trying to fight, we will have a rig ready to go. I'm going to take off literally everything, and we're only going in with a pistol. And I think we're good to go. Now, the only editing I'm going to be doing pretty much for these episodes is the load times. The load times can take anywhere from 3 to 8 minutes. So I'm going to cut that just so these aren't like too long of videos. Now that we're getting into the meat of the series, it's going to be a little bit lengthy, but we're going to just try to truck on through. So as far as our scav raids go, we will be going like factory because I don't want to take too much time away from the PMC raids. With us trying to go and get a quest done, I really think it would be best if we went at night, but as far as like you guys watching this, it's probably not going to be beneficial. So we're going to try to go during a daytime raid. We can ensure if we want to. Prapper has the longest return rate, but he has the longest amount of time that you're allowed to claim something. Always make sure you click ensure. And yeah, okay. So we're going straight into it. Okay, so for the raids, what I'll try to do is I'll try to throw up a picture in the top left corner whenever we get in to show you where I spawn on the map. I'm not going to go into too great detail showing you like my pathing or anything like that, but at least this will kind of help you understand where we're going at, or we're spawning in at. All right, so First question I always ask myself is where the fuck I am. I'm trying to, like, look for landmarks that... I think I'm up by the scav bunker. Scav bunker has a big old antenna. There it is. That's the scav bunker. So, this is not a good spawn for where we gotta go, because there's a lot of players that have spawned around me, and I have no idea where they're trying to get to. So, we're just gonna try to go. We're coming up on the USEC camp right now. With the USEC camp is a little tricky because there are some unmarked mines that are all kind of like the backside over here. So we're gonna try to avoid that. This is also a really contested area. Also, whenever you first start out, your endurance is going to be really low, so the amount of time that you can sprint is going to be atrocious. I'm not really trying to loot or try to fight, just because, I mean, all I got is a pistol, dude, so the only reason I had the pistol is really to defend myself against any kind of scavs that might be shooting. But in regards to your endurance, you want to try to keep your stamina, which is the green bar in the bottom left corner of the screen there. You want to try to keep that around half, because if you do get shot, it actually eats at your stamina pretty good. And the reason I keep glancing over here is because of my wall, my ESP, I have a map here that has, that has a picture of the actual map. So I'm kind of using that. Until you know a map like the back of your hand pretty well, or you get a pretty good little rhythm, I would highly recommend doing that. Alright. Gotta cut across an open field here, so I'll let my stand build up. I really should be looking for measuring tape so I can get security going as fast as possible. You can find those in toolboxes. And when you're looting, whatever you're looting, in the top right corner of the screen, it'll tell you what it is. I don't know the exact name for every single lootable item or lootable container, but it's a literal toolbox, so... okay, so there is Mountain Stash on the map. It's also where the sniper scav spawns, and this is also, I'm getting into an area where there's a lot of players. The shots to my right are at Sawmill, which is just to my right. That's where the scav boss is, and I don't know if you can hear it from me talking, but that's actually, but the scav boss on this map is Sturman. He's got an SVDS. He also has a guard that has an SVD as well. And those two guys do not miss. I gotta be careful here because this is pretty high traffic area. You can hold middle mouse button down and move your mouse to look around. It's really helpful whenever you're trying to cross like an open field and you want to check your peripherals without having to like slow yourself down. Gonna go up and around the mountain here. Could be some players up here. This is a toolbox. Hopefully it'll have measuring tape. If it does... no dice. You can also loot this stuff too. That's a sight. We'll hang on to it. Okay. PS ammo 545, not good. The calibers are something that are kind of hard to learn, but very easy to remember once you get used to it. For instance, the 5.45 caliber PS ammo is not good. However, the 7.62 by 39 caliber ammo, or PS ammo, is pretty good. It's like a step below the best. I'm gonna save the bolts. We'll get into looting and all that stuff later on. I'll be going through and doing some money runs. Now, when you get to like a cliff like this and you don't want to break your legs, as you're going down, hold S. Sometimes there's loot right here. I do believe somebody's already been here though. So we're just gonna carefully scale this. Kind of using the rocks to our advantage here. It's a rock. Might be some scavs nearby. If we can take out a scav and get their loot, that'd be huge. Alright, so the quest item is near a plane that has been crashed, so here in a second we'll start seeing it. Seeing evidence of it. It's right down here. There's the crashed plane. And the note is underneath a hunting stand. There are some loot spawns along the ground leading up to the plane. Like, for instance, we got a Salewa here. I'm not gonna pick it up. I should, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna grab this. And the other thing I forgot to mention is as soon as you spawn in, check your extracts. You can do that by hitting your check time and exits keybind. So we gotta go factory gate. Actually not factory gate. You have to have a scav with you on that one. So we're gonna go outskirts, which is kind of gonna require us to go backwards. So I don't know the best way to go about this because I really don't want to cross this open field at this point in the raid. I may have to though. Somebody to the right, I thought. You have to survive an extract so you can turn in the note. If you find it in raid and you die, you have to basically restart the task again. Keep thinking I'm hearing something. Not having headphones on your player is brutal sometimes. We're just gonna basically retrace our steps here. That might be the best move. To the best of our ability. We obviously can't climb the mountain. Kind of bob and weave through these trees so that they're not giving our position away too much. So there's a lot of action going on over at the sawmill. And for the bridge VX, it's green right now, so that means somebody is taking it currently. They're about to leave. It's 3,000 rubles. So you can put 3,000 rubles in your secure container and then extract via there. Scav is fighting somebody with an SKS over there. So we're going to go this way. That was actually a really bad spawn for what we gotta do and how we gotta extract now. That's alright. We will hopefully overcome. That was a player. We have power lines here we can actually use as kind of like our guide. Again, not trying to fight anybody. I really just want to get this task item and get out of here. Now, in a raid, there's two potential outcomes, like not counting death. You can either get a run-through status or survived. Run-through gives you less XP, and it also makes all the things that you found in raid lose the found in raid status, so they lose value essentially. Now, how you avoid that is you have to stay in a raid for at least 7 minutes, or you can get enough XP for it to count as a survival. I know with me starting kind of later on early wipe, I'm gonna lose a lot of raids. I'm gonna die a lot, but for this, I'm trying to just get this quest item and get out. Because I mean, I don't really have any armor or anything. USEC stash is up there. If you recall, we were just up there not too long ago. We're gonna keep kind of using these power lines as our guide, because this is gonna take us down in a direction that we need to go. It's not going to take us to the extract, but it will get us on the right path. It's very bright and clear. Be a good sniping raid. Woods is probably one of the harder maps to learn in the sense of like maintaining your direction, because it's very easy to get turned around, because I mean everything looks pretty much the same. It's like I said in episode 1, it's a giant forest. Okay, so there's checkpoint way over there. So that's good. We just have to watch out because there could be players. I'm not too worried about scavs, because if you let them shoot you, they're pretty accurate, but most of the time they're not. And there's always a pretty big delay from whenever they first comm at you to whenever they shoot. But there might be a scav up here. There's some loot right here we can hit. The lids are closed, so that means that no one has been by here recently. If it says search and it's empty, then there's a very good chance that someone could have came by a while back in the raid. So extract is just up ahead here. There's 2 extracts on this map that require keys. One is ZB014, which is on this side of the map, and then ZB016, which is on the opposite side of the map. They're both kind of like bunkers, and they do have some loot. I could go down there if I wanted to, and how you know if it's available or not is there should be some green smoke somewhere. It's like right in there or something. So we're coming up on a pretty popular scav area. It's called Scav House. I'd be very surprised if there's not any. If you ever see me doing this, it looks like I'm aiming at the ground, but I'm not. You see how it zooms in a little bit? Kind of helps me see a little bit further in the distance there. You can't travel out too far to the right here. You got to be careful, because you see that sign there? Past those signs are mines. Just got to be very careful. So because there's no scavs, that tells me that there may be a player nearby. Or maybe they just haven't spawned in yet. I think for the sake of time, I'll probably just do this. And then maybe a scav run. And then that'll be this episode. I want to try to keep these around an hour long. And once you factor in between raids, going through your inventory and selling stuff, it can get a little lengthy. Like I said in the first episode, I mean, these episodes are going to be a little bit longer, so this might be a good series to have on in the background while you're, like, doing some work or something like that. But if you're wanting to, like, learn, you know, it's obviously best to just look and watch. All right, so we got the quest item. That's a huge dub. First raid on. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. That's actually a huge win for us. We can now turn in some MP133 shotguns. We need a total of 3, 2 for Prapper and then 1 for the Gunsmith Part 1. All right. So let's go to mechanic. Always, before you go into another raid, if you know you finished a task, go to that person and turn it in or complete it or something. Like there's one skier quest coming like a little bit down the line called Bullshit, where there's a caveat where you cannot kill any scavs even after you finish all the objectives. If you kill any scavs even after all the objectives are done without completing the task, you fail the task and you have to do it all over again. And that specific one is a headache. All right, so we got Jaeger unlocked. So let's go ahead and examine this real quick. I'm gonna time lapse it real quick. Okay, ready? All right, so we got that good and going. I am gonna go ahead and buy 2 of these so we can get that aspect turned in here. You hit auto at the top, it auto selects what's needed. All right, so now all we got to do is just kill 5 scavs on custom, so that's pretty good. We can sell these. I do need these for the hideout, so I'm probably just gonna leave those down here. The sight and stuff we can sell just to make a quick little buck. And also I'm gonna take that off. You don't need it for a task. There are a couple of clothing items that you will need, but because it's so far away, you don't necessarily have to do it. And the other thing too is whenever you're looting, you want to pay attention to things that are worth at least 10,000 rubles per square. You'll learn it as you go and as you go through raids. But again, for the sake of time, I don't think we're going to do another PMC run. But what I do want to do now is just do a quick little scav run in factory. Like I said, I don't think I touched on this in the first episode, but as far as scav karma goes, which I did mention in the first episode, your scav karma is not only for fence rep, but it is also a determining factor on your scav runs here. It determines the quality of your loadout, how long you have to wait to get into a scav run. There's a couple things that you can do in the hideout too that helps with the scav cooldown timer, but that's another video for a different day. But what I do want to do is just run to factory real quick. The scav runs on factory are pretty quick because you spawn in like halfway through the raid anyway, so you can honestly just spawn in and extract if you really want to. Okie dokie, so we have spawned into factory as a scav. In the top right corner, we see that we got 11 minutes left. You can press tab to open up your inventory. Also, real quick, if you do want to see your scav's stats, you can go to the overall. It'll tell you the scav's level. This is different than your PMC. All right, so basically all I want to do is maybe just run around for a little bit. Also, whenever you spawn into a scav raid, make sure, or anytime you have a brand new gun, make sure to press B, especially if it's a fully automatic weapon. I actually got a pretty decent starting loadout here. That is a player scav. We'll take it just because we're trying to make as much money with our scav runs as possible. And on factory, there's not really that much loot, especially by the time you spawn in. That's an AI scav. That first guy I interacted with was a player scav, and if you ever want to kind of signal that you're a player scav as well, just hit Q and E real quick to wiggle back and forth. Also, I just learned this from watching Pestly's stream. This thing can open. I don't know what's in it, but it can open. All right, so we're gonna go up to the office area because that's a pretty hot spot for combat and stuff. So we'll do that. There's also a scav boss on this map now, named Tagilla. He's terrifying, dude. He's got a big ass sledgehammer and a welding mask. It's crazy. So you see how it says close? That means that somebody just recently hit it not too long ago. Now there was shots fired, so I don't really want to go upstairs just because I know what's up. Could be another player scav going rogue. They don't care about the scav karma, which actually sucks. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to extract. Like I said, at this point in the raid, there's really not much. There's really not much you can find anymore, unless you get lucky. Now, as far as extracts go, we have probably office window. F1 is to scav comm, which is what that laugh was. We have office window and camera bunker door. Office window is up in the office, obviously. In case you didn't know that. And camera bunker door is just down here. Those are the two, like, main extracts. And then you have gate 3, which is a PMC extract as well. I wouldn't recommend going there because the office window and camera bunker door are both pretty safe. So, nice. All right, so whenever you get out of your scav run, you want to make sure that you transfer everything over to your stash. So just hold left control and click on everything. I normally don't, I normally just go through each individual thing and unload it. That way I don't have to worry about opening it up again. And I can just sell it outright to Ragman or whatever. All right, and make sure you get your knife because you can actually sell these to Jaeger. Some of them range from 3,000 rubles all the way up to like 10K. So what I'll do is I'll sell this stuff real quick. I'll probably keep the backpack and the rig just because we are trying to build up an arsenal and stuff. I may even keep the PP, the Keter. The only downside about your scav weapons is they have durability, and the majority of them are F50. This one is actually at 69. Nice. Anything like guns can jam now. Guns can jam now, and if the lower the durability, the higher of a jam it is. So I don't know, man. I think I may just sell this for the sake of money. So previously you would sell all of your gun parts to mechanic, but because of the durability thing now, what I would recommend is right clicking your weapon, going to disassemble, and it's going to tear it all apart for you. And then selling everything you can to mechanic, and then selling your base model here. I don't know what this is, the anatomical term of it. Selling that to fence. We'll have to rearrange our stash here. You can tell I've been spoiled with the EOD stash. All right, so we got a little bit of money here. Let's go ahead and sell them. Let's see, Ragman for all of our. Oh, I forgot there was something inside. That's the other thing too. If something is inside of your rig or container, you can't sell it. You have to take it out. You can go to Jaeger. Sell that. Jaeger does accept heals as well. Go to therapist. Sell whatever we can there. Not much money, but it's something. It ain't much, but it's something. Forgot to sell my glasses to Ragman. These glasses are actually horrible. And then we'll just fence the rest of it. This isn't even worth that much. And because I think if your gun is over 50 durability, the regular vendors will take it, but if it's under, then it's best to just sell it defense. I just sold it defense out of habit there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up episode 2. Now, normally whenever I do these episodes, I'm going to have 2 PMC raids and a scav run in there. But again, because I was a little bit long-winded today, I decided to just do the one PMC raid and the quick little scav run there. But yeah, that's day 1. That's day 1. So yeah, again, if you did like the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment. Also, if you want to find your way back for more content as well as a continuation of this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button with the notifications on. And yeah, again, if you want to come check me out live, I'm live over on twitch.tv/itscoozie Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Typically playing Tarkov. Fridays, again, are a little bit of a variety night. So who knows what happens on Fridays. So anyways, thank you guys so much. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video, okay?